we talked about it before. Kira Lewis Jr. is a guy who's the Pelicans are trying to trade. And they're looking to trade Kira Lewis Jr. What seems to be is they just want to trade him for a draft. Like, they just want him off his roster so they can avoid the luxury tax and then be able to sign a veteran minimum player like Rudy Gay. So that's what they hope to do. Now, if that doesn't happen, I could see the next step being that they trade him for a guy like PJ Tucker. Like, if James Harden is traded and PJ Tucker has been involved in those trade talks, they could be like, hey, we'll trade Kira Lewis Jr. for PJ Tucker. Because they did waive Garrett Temple. And Rudy Gay, I think, would be perfect for them. The whole thing with Kira Lewis Jr. is like, you got to convince a team like Charlotte, who needs a backup point guard, to take on the 22-year-old. Or maybe a Portland to have him be the third guard if they do trade Damian Lillard behind Scoot Henderson and Anthony Simons. Now, besides that, I think it starts to get a bit difficult. Maybe a team like Minnesota, where we don't really have a backup guard as of right now, could be where he ends up. It's just, I think, like, we do have Jordan McLaughlin, I believe, still under contract. And is Jordan McLaughlin still under contract? I thought he was expiring. Let's look at the Timberwolves roster. Because for me, I think he could definitely be a guy that they look at and they're like, oh shit, Kira Lewis Jr. But yeah, so Jordan McLaughlin's still on the team. So maybe So when you look at a team like the Timberwolves, they have Mike Conley and Jordan McLaughlin as their pure point guard. So Kira Lewis Jr. could fit as the third guard there. Like I said, the Blazers, maybe the Heat, the Hornets, I think would be the most logical, just because these are teams that need backup guards. Maybe the Wizards, but the Wizards are already pretty stocked on players. So for me, I look at this and I'm just like, it's just hard to envision where there could be a spot for Kira Lewis Jr. I feel like the problem is people like, why would we trade for him when we know you might waive him, and when he's on waivers, we can claim him? Or he might not get claimed on waivers and we can give him a multi-year deal. So I think that's the big thing they're trying to decide, like teams. Because if you trade for him, it's because you like him, which I did like him. He's only 22 going into year 4. So there's that. Now let me hear your thoughts down below. That's it. I'm heading out. I just took a dump while making this video, so I appreciate the support.